Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com. Today is Wednesday, March 11th, and yeah, the market now is going crazy. President Trump just a little bit ago announced that the U.S. is suspending all travel from Europe for at least the next 30 days. The NBA has just suspended the season after tonight. March Madness is going to play with no fans, and so that is the latest. It's crazy times, that's for sure. So let's definitely talk about the charts, where I think the market's headed and where it could potentially go. So looking at this, as we touched on the other day, this is the daily chart, continuous contracts for the S&P 500 E-mini futures that we're looking at right here, and it still holds up. What I mentioned the other day is what I'm looking for is price to come down here, down to the support box between the 78.6 and 88.6 levels right here. I think the other day when I talked about it is right in between the 50 and 61.8. So yeah, that could have been a setup for the move back up. It's going to be a continuation move back up. And now it's just working out very nicely for also an expanding triangle trade. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So then you have the fourth point right here that already created it once it went down below, broke that low right there. So what I'm looking for is definitely the market at least come down a little bit more, down to 25.52. It's currently at 26.10. Probably the market's going to get halted here in a little bit as far as trading levels go. I mean, look at it overnight currently. S&P's down almost 130 points. Dow's down over 1,000 again. And oil is crashing back down as well. Only about 6.5% right now. It's a lot better than the 30% the other day, but I digress. But anyways, so yeah, that's what we're looking at right now, is for it to gain some support somewhere between about 25.44 and 24.39 right there. And then if it is going to be one of these continuation moves up from the expanding triangle, the exit we'll be looking for that move will be up here about 36.89.50. But if price does continue to go down and breaks this low right here at about 23.17.50, then we would start dragging this down some more. We'll drag it down to that pivot point right there. If that gets broken, drag it down to that pivot point right there. That gets broken, that pivot point, and then finally this pivot point right here, which is back around the 2016 post-election time right there when President Trump took the office. You see that was the last time we really had some type of consolidation before it sprung up again. And so then if it breaks that, then we'll see. But that would definitely be a huge move, taking us back down under the 1800 level, which would be almost half of where we were previously at the highs of up around about 3400 or so, something like that. So not quite half, but still a ton of the market going down. Personally, I don't think the market is going to go down that low. I really think, as far as this goes right here, I think this is going to be the support area that we're going to be looking at right now, between about 25.41 and somewhere around 24.39, that area right there. So it will provide some support, some scalping opportunities. Now, although this is the daily chart, it still will provide some for it. So definitely on some of those days, we'll be looking at some moves basically back up. But eventually, when this coronavirus thing, when it passes, the market is going to rebound, because fundamentally, nothing has changed too much. The global economy, of course, will slow down temporarily because of this. But looking long term for this, I think when this does die down, we will see a big spring back from it. So that's why initially right now, this is the area I'm looking for it to hold the support for it. And I think we'll see the global economy start to spring back once the coronavirus cases start to decline rather than increase literally every single day. But we'll go ahead and look at the S&P 500 futures chart right here. So this is the 5-minute chart for it right here. As I mentioned the other day, using this expanding triangle setup right here. Here you have the first point, second point, third point, fourth point. This is when the other day I thought right here is going to come down, create that fifth point, complete the setup. Obviously it didn't. Went back up here and made that double top. And then yesterday in the video I spoke how I expected the market to continue to move back down and take out that fifth point. Almost did that today during the trading day. Didn't quite make it down there. Found some support. and then started trading back down. And then right around here is when President Trump had his news conference, announced the European travel ban into the US, and then the market, as you can see, has taken off straight down. And so let me show you, it actually did complete this expanding triangle short move right here, from the first, second, third, fourth, and then of course the fifth point once it broke this low down here. But using that pivot up here, that pivot low right there, price came up, hit a 61.8. How I like to trade is I look for levels get to the 78.6 and 88.6 levels, but this is still perfectly fine as well. Came back down, and now look what happened down here. It hit the profit box, the profit area that we're looking for. That's the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level and the 1.414 Fibonacci extension level. And so since it has hit that, it has definitely found some support for it, as you can see right here on the 5-minute chart. For that currently. So until price starts making a couple of, we definitely need some moves up. I mean, you really don't want to be short in this market right here. That's why I did today. You can see right here in the 1-minute chart, I made a couple of short trades right here that is just crazy how fast they move. But lock some of those in. I'll show you the entries, how I went over those. And so that's that. Yeah, so we hit the profit target. So this move is considered to be complete right here. It found support for it. And until we need to get some type of rise up here in the market, create some more just movement in it, and then we can get some more setups from the expanding triangle setup into the 78.6, either long or short setup for it right here. This was, in fact, I'm gonna take this off right now. This was a trend channel I previously had that was shortened down it right there. I'll show you the 1-minute chart right here from what I was looking at today. So right here today, we're at the bottom side of the trend channel right here. We had a potential expanding triangle. Here's first point, second point, third point, coming up on the fourth point. And then what I just started doing is dragging my, let's see, was that it right there? No, this is it right here is what I was doing. So how I look to get in these is the problem with TradingView is it is horrible for day trading, and that's just being honest. It's pathetic if you're looking at trading for more than one contract. That's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to enter in 2 contracts right now and then get out at different profit levels. One is scalp, and then the second one to be a runner. And TradingView is absolutely atrocious for that. That's the one thing I'll say about it. That's the biggest negative I have about them. NinjaTrader is way better. If TradingView would get their programmers to make it to where you can automate and have 2 targets right away and we can get in there, entering 2 contracts rather than entering 1 contract at a time separately, it would make it so much easier. And so that's the biggest gripe I have about TradingView right now, and I'm using it through AMP futures. So if they got that figured out, it'd be awesome. I don't know why they don't have it set up yet, but whatever. That's sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it is just frustrating to figure that out. But anyways, so what I was looking for when price was coming back up is I was waiting for price to create a second entry. And so what I do when I look for that is I look for first off price to get into the hit this 78.6 between the 88.6 box. Then I'm looking for two short moves down, and I get in when it breaks. So we made a high right here, came back down, but then we came up and made another high. And then we have the first entry short right here, because when this candle, this red candle, which is it was the high of this one, I believe, right there, when it breaks that one, that is the first entry. So then it keeps going down. Okay, now we had to move back up. As you can see, this bar right here is higher than that one. So then when we have the next bar down, that is going to be the second entry, and that is when I'm looking to get in. So as you can see right here, this bar broke it. See that one, it broke, it's lower than that one. So right when it broke it, I got in right about here. Now I was worried I didn't count this correctly, but after I went back and counted it, that was the high, because it's kind of like a double top right here. That was the first entry, so it was legitimate second entry. I ended up getting out for a small profit right what candle was it at? That one right there. But then once I realized that I had gotten out too early on this candle, I got back in right about up here. You see price went against me some up there. That about getting in a second contract right there. And I was having my stop right north of it, right there. If it was continuing to go up, I was just going to get out of the trade, take a loss for it. It stinks, but no big deal. But as you see, price came back down, and then right before it hit the bottom of that trend line right there, I got out somewhere right in here for it. See, it came waffled back up. Still provided a couple other good short scalping opportunities for it. and before that, then it took off outside of that level right there. But provided, you know, and these are minute charts right here. I mean, look how big this is. You have a bar going from 27.54 down to 27.46 in 1 minute. That is 1 minute. And then you have a bar 27.46 all the way down to 27.32. Literally 1 minute. I mean, that is just insane what's going on. But as you see, price kept on going up. So alls I would have been doing, by this point I was done because the market was closed over here. When it was at 3 o'clock, right about there, the market was closed. And so I was going to hold in contracts overnight. No way in this market. That'd be just completely insane. So price continued to move up, but all you would have to do is move your pivot point high up here to that high. That's the next one up there. And as you see, price never came up and hit the 78.6 to 88.6 level, but did come up and hit the top of that trend line right there. But I really don't trade off trend line areas for it, but came up and hit that top, and now it's gone all the way back down. Here would have been that target area right here from that move, and as you can see, it took that out plenty easily, went, hit it, found temporary support, and then just continued to blow on past through it. No big deal. That was that. One thing I was looking at actually just a little bit ago is I was looking to scalp off of here real quick, because there was a expanding triangle long, and when you go against a trend, all you can do is scalp. That is all you can do. You're not looking for any big moves up. But so what I was looking at doing, because it was the kind of 1 2 3 4 coming down right over there, right about there-ish. Anyways, that's about the 4th point. So you have 1 2 3 4, using that pivot low down there, coming down from it right there. You see price came into the 78.6 box right there, found some support. So unfortunately I missed it, but what I was looking for is that second entry. So you have a low. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. So you have a low first entry, but then you have a second low, so you start over, another low, there's the entry, first entry, nope, okay, another low, so you start over, another low, okay, there's your first entry, up, pull back, pull back, pull back, kind of up. So you could have either, that would have been one right there maybe, but definitely this one right here, because there's a low, there's a higher high, that's your second entry, get in right there. And how I typically have it is I draw just a box right there towards about where I would have got in at, and then one slightly past the low over here, and then all I do is drag it up for my profit target and make it and have my exit about right here, just to make sure I get a little bit over a 1-to-1 ratio for a scalp and trade right there. So that is where I would have done it if I had been able to get into it, but of course I missed it, so wasn't able to. So we were able to scalp that one out pretty much a little bit more. You can see price did continue to go up. I mean, it doesn't look like a huge move, but look at this, how crazy it is. 27.21 all the way up to 27.34. I mean, 13 points. There used to be days in the S&P 500 stock that hardly moved 13 points, and now it's doing it after hours. I mean, this is just insane. So anyways, that would have been a good scalp and trade right there. But now price is just rocketing down, and so now all we're waiting on, let me zoom out here a little bit more, is, oops, excuse me, hit my microphone. Sorry about that. That's probably making a lot of noise right here. I just knocked my microphone off. All right, here we go. So as you can see from this trend line, prices just got totally knocked down. So I'm thinking about changing the lines for the trends. How I typically do it when we see a move like that is what I'll do is I'll take like the lowest, like swing low from this one, which would be kind of that one right there, move it over, and then just copy it right here and drag it over to the top. And so typically what I'll do is I'll change them into orange lines to signify that they're trend lines, extend the angle for them, and delete that one. I'll just drag the other one over for it. So this definitely, if this shows signs of support right here, that definitely could be the longer term trend down right there. If price continues to crater down, which I'm not so sure it's going to do for the time being, because I'm pretty sure price is going to get halted if it goes a little bit lower, then you could use that one right there. But that's pretty much how I get the trend lines. Are just an overall guide to know which direction I need to be trading. And obviously if I'm looking for any longer term trends, or I'm looking for the full profit, then the only way I'm doing it is short. If I'm going to take any longs right now, it's just going to be scalping trades like I just showed a little bit ago. And so that's all we're waiting on for the S&P 500. I don't think there's any other scalping trades available. See 1, 2, 3. Price came up, broke this high up here. That would create a fourth point for it. They could short, but also be out of this trend line box. So wouldn't be looking to do it there. So that's all it is right now. Just waiting to see what happens, how much lower this goes for it, and then as far as the longer term goes, and then short term, just definitely some short-term scalps if short trades. Then we're looking for, of course, a scalp, but also a runner down to the profit target for it as well. We'll check out oil here real quick, and we switch over to the 5-minute right here. So here is a 4-point setup that we have going on right now for oil. Let me draw this in right here. That is going to be the support area here. Up here is the target from this move right up here, and I need to get rid of that purple box. That was a profit target from a while ago. I'll go do that here. Go a little bit longer time frame. Go up to the hour. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. That's a profit target box, as you can see, but it's good and gone, so we don't need that anymore. All right, so going back down the 5-minute for it. So for this move down right here, this here is an expanding triangle trade. First point, second point, third point, fourth point now once it broke this low. So here's the Fibonacci pivot point low. Here's the pivot point high right here. Currently, this is fine. It's finding some support down here, but I would not be looking to get into it until I would get a second entry long. Here's your low right here. First entry. Now it's made a double bottom right here. If this low breaks, then it would start a new count. But if this double bottom holds right here, then if it breaks higher than this bar, assuming that that's the high of this bar, the next bar breaks it, that's where you'd be looking to get in for it. And let's see, there's the entry, there's about the stop loss. Drag it up right there. So I'd be looking to get out if I was going to take this. I'm not trading crude oil after hours. 31.64 would be around there would be the exit. Looking out for that scalp and trade right there. Not saying that this is going to hold. If it doesn't hold, then kind of look for it to take out that low. If it does take out that low down there, then we would drag this down to that one right there. That'd be the new one. If that low gets taken out, then finally we go down to this one right here and look for some support down here for it. And then if price continues to go lower, takes out that 27 level right there, then we just have to wait and see. Then it's just in a free fall. There's nothing else, no other support levels we can look for the support, and obviously we'd be looking for only shorts, which we can be doing right now, but it's just hitting these support levels right up here, which is why I'm looking for a scalp and trade. Oh, and here we go. While we were talking, this candle right here broke that low right there. So now this is the new count. So we're looking for the next candle break above it to be one, next candle pull back, and then for eventually another candle to be the next higher high. That'd be the second entry long for it right there. So we'll just have to see what happens over here to see if there's any short setups we could look for right now. Let's see here, about 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so for a legitimate short setup to occur, we would need price. Let me change these colors here real quick. We would need price to come up, break this high right here. That would create the fourth point for it, and then the earliest we'd be looking for to get in would be, assuming that low holds right there, would not be until right up here. And in fact, I'd probably drag this up some more, probably at least till about right there, because assuming price breaks that's right in the 78, 88.6 box, and then looking for a second entry. And this is one where you can look for a scalp, but then also, since definitely the trend is down, you can also look for a runner and try to hit this one down here, down to the exit would be 29.71. But this just assumes that that's going to be the current low. But anyways, those are marks right now. That's S&P 500. That is the oil market, what I'm looking for tomorrow, or tonight and tomorrow. Again, we still do have this gap up here to be mindful of, from about $36.42 to about $41. So eventually that will come up and get filled. So that I do expect that to happen sooner than later. We'll see if this one of these levels hold down here for the support level, and then price continues to move back to oil until this gets filled. So yeah, good luck out there. Stay safe. I mean, the market's crazy, and that's it. All right, have a good one. Bye.